Okay, so this is the Chapter 4 review for the Part 1 test, only through Section 4.4, and I'm recording in class again, so hopefully it'll work out, and I won't make mistakes like last time. Anyway, let's get started. So if you look at this, this is a squared, a fourth, third, and then this one doesn't have anything at all, so it is a polynomial function, and the leading coefficient would be connected to the degree. So here's our highest degree, it's a 4. The leading coefficient is a 6. So look for leading coefficient of 6. Leading coefficient, there it is, which means C is our answer. And I'm just going to skip to 3 since it's on the screen. If you look here, this is 4, 3, 2, 1, none. So 4 is the winner and 4 is an even number. And the leading coefficient here is a positive 1. So it's positive. And we learned that that goes up and up. So if we put our axis here, we have like positive x and negative x. This would be positive y's and negative y's. So if you look, it's always in the positive y zone, which means the function, the p of x, is always positive. So this answer is wrong. It's always positive, so this answer is wrong. It's always positive. Here it's positive. So it's saying when the x's are negative, so over here where x's are negative, the function is positive. That's true. And then the function's negative? Nope, function's never negative. So let's just check this one. Function is positive, function is positive. Yes, this is our winner there. Okay, down here it says evaluate the function for the given value of x. There's a couple ways we can do this. One thing you can do is just plug it straight into your calculator. But if you don't have a calculator, or you want to do it by hand, this is how we would do it by hand. So 2 to the 4th power is 16, and it's multiplied with that negative 2. 2 cubed is 8, and negative 2 cubed is negative 8. So this is like saying negative 10 times negative 8, which is positive 80. And then a negative 2 and a negative 2 make a 4, and then here's a 4, so we've got plus 8. Negative 2 with the 16 makes a negative 32. Here's 88. So just go ahead and do negative 32 plus 88, and that's 56. So there's C. You could also just plug it straight into your calculator. Okay, over here on find the difference, this is special because it's a minus. So we are going to change it to a plus, change this to a minus, change this to a minus, change this to a plus, change this to a minus, and change this to a minus. Pretty much you just change everything going the whole way down. And now we combine like terms. So, and I don't know how to get rid of that box. X to the 4th and negative 3x to the 4th would make a negative 2x to the 4th. Okay, so stop right there because we already know that that answer's wrong and that answer's wrong. Now, as far as the x cubes are concerned, this is positive 4x cubed, and this is negative 7x cubed. So a positive 4 and a negative 7 make a negative 3x cubed, and so that one for sure is going to be our answer. Answer choice B. Okay, find the product. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Nope, can't make it bigger. I'm going to write small. All we do is multiply in all 4 places. And remember, when you multiply x cubed by x cubed, it makes x to the 6th. So this answer's wrong, and this answer's wrong. So we have 12x to the 6th plus 6x to the 5th. And look at your choices. So far, they're both correct. And then the next one would be the plus 21x cubed times x is x to the 4th. Right there's where the answers were different, and so it's for sure answer choice A. Okay, this one follows a special pattern. It's p plus 10 and p plus 10, and that is so messy, but hopefully you heard what it was. And what you do now is you FOIL. So p with p would make p squared, and p with 10 makes plus 10p, and 10 with p makes plus 10p, and 10 with 10 makes 100. And so we have answer choice C. Okay, over here on this one, we want to stay really organized. So the first thing we do is we distribute here, here, and here. So that's going to be negative 4x cubed plus 14x minus 12x. I'm going to change colors for you. Now what we do is we distribute here, here, and here. So the 2x squared and the 3 make a 6x squared. It looks like I forgot my squared here. So here's 6x squared, and we write it under the squared spot. And then the negative 7x with the 3 makes a negative 21x. So negative 21x, and we write it under the x spot. And then the 6 with the 3 make 18. That would go for the constants. Now, I like to do it like this because then you draw a line and you add down. So I have negative 4x cubed plus 20x squared. So hopefully you can see the correct answer already, minus 33x and plus 18. The nice thing with multiple choice tests is you never have to finish a problem in order to correctly choose your choice. Okay, number 7 is just like what we just did, only that extra step because it has 3. So I'm going to have to write real small. So are you. We're going to run out of space. You do the negative x squared with the 5x squared. So that's negative 5x to the 4th. And then you do the negative x squared with the 8x. So that's minus 8x cubed. Now you do the negative x squared with the minus 3, so that's plus 3x squared. Okay, I'm changing colors. Now I'm going to do the negative x, this one, the negative x. So negative x times 5x squared is going to be negative 5x cubed. The negative x with the 8x makes minus 8x squared, minus 8x squared. And then negative x with the minus 3 makes plus 3x. Okay, changing colors again to do this last one. Now we give 10 to everything. So 10 with the 5x squared makes 50x squared. So 50x squared. And then 80x. And then minus 30. When I draw my line to add, I for sure get 5x to the 4th, so that's good. This choice is wrong. And then negative 8 and negative 5 make negative 13. So this one's wrong, because see, I need this negative 13. And if you look at the answer choices, they knew it was 30, they knew it was 83. They're wondering about the x squared. So that right there tells you we need to go slow with the x squareds. So basically you have 3 and negative 8 and 50. 3 and negative 8 and 50 would not make 53. It in fact is the 45, so it's answer C, or B, I mean. Okay, over here on number 10, it says find the product. Pretty much what I like to do is save this one, so I'm not really crossing it off, I'm just saving it. And I'm going to FOIL these ones first. So that would be x squared minus 2x minus 4x plus 8. So that's x squared minus 6x plus 8. And then now, that one that I crossed off, I bring it down. And I'm going to distribute it in. So that's x cubed minus 6x squared plus 8x. And I kind of ran out of room to do it the way I like to. I like to put the numbers on top of each other. So this is 5x squared. I'm just going to squeeze it right here. And this would be minus 30x and then this is plus 40. So it's for sure not A, and it's for sure not C. And if you look, they both say x cubed, and they both say minus x squared, and they both say 40. So the problem must be with the x terms. So let's go really slow with the x's. I've got 8 and negative 30, so it's negative 22. Okay, for Pascal's triangle, remember the fourth power is a 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And we have a lot of work here. We've got our work cut out for us. So pretty much you know this is wrong because this problem is much trickier than that. And you know this is wrong because this problem is much trickier than that. So what I would do right now with you is just look. You know the first term is going to be the same. And you know the last term is going to be the same. So we really care about that 4, 6, 4. So think about what the first term is. The first term is the 1 with the 2x, and it's raised to a fourth power. And then you have a plus sign and a 4, and the 2x is raised to a third power, and then you have a 5. Then you have a 6. The 2x is squared this time, and the 5 is squared this time. And then you have a 4. The 2x is just alone, and the 5 is cubed. And then I ran out of space, but obviously we're going to get 625 because it would be 5 to the 4th. Okay, now we're going to do the math. Okay, now, I know this is your test review, but the secret is this question is not multiple choice on your test review. So even though at this point we're going to be able to choose the correct answer, I'm going to keep working the question for you because I know that it is not multiple choice on your test. So I want you to see it. So that obviously is 16x to the 4th. Here what we have is 4 times 8 times 5. 4 times 8 times 5 is 160, and it's going to be x cubed. Here is 6 multiplied with a 4 and a 25. So 6 times 4 times 25, and I got 600. And I'm just doing that straight in my calculator. Here is 4 times 2 times 125, because 5 cubed is 125. And that's 1,000. Again, I just did it straight in my calculator. And then 5 to the 4th in my calculator is 625. So for your review here, D's the answer, but no, on your test, it's not multiple choice. You have to be able to do each one for the points. Okay, divide using polynomial long division. What I'm going to do is put it on pause, and I'm going to get rid of the answer choices. Okay, the reason I got rid of the answer choices is because this is another one where it is not multiple choice on your test. On your test, you're going to show the work. Here we go. I'm setting it up. For your test, it is already set up for you. Alright, so what we want to do is look at this number right here and multiply it with a number that makes this number. So that would be a 4x squared. So 4x squared. So 4x squared multiplied with x squared makes x to the 4th. 4x squared with 3x makes 12x cubed, so plus 12x cubed. 4x squared with 2 makes 8x squared, so plus 8x squared. Now I taught you when you draw your line, you change all your signs. So now we can bring that down. Those cancel, that was the point. This is negative 16x x cubed minus 4x squared minus x. So now what you're looking at is this again. You're always looking at that in this first one. What can we multiply with the x squared to make negative 16x cubed? That's negative 16x. So minus 16x. So negative 16x cubed. And then 16 times 3 is 48. It's going to be negative, so negative 48x squared. And 16 times 2, so negative 32x. And when you draw your line, you change your signs. Those cancel, which was the whole point, and then this is 44x squared, and this is plus 31x. Okay, now we are looking here where we've always been looking at the x squared. Looking here at the 44x squared, we want to know what to multiply by, so we're going to add the 44 on it. So 44 times x squared is 44x squared. 44 times 3 is 132x. And then 44 times 2 is 88. When you draw your line, you change your signs. So this is 101. It's negative 101x minus 88. So your final answer is 4x squared minus 16x plus 44 plus negative 101 x minus 88 over x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, factor completely over here. First thing you want to do is take out an a. And then ask yourself, is there anything that multiplies to make a negative 6 but adds to make a negative 5? And you can see from your answer choices, it's going to be 6 and a 1. Just be careful about what the 6 is and what the 1 is. You want the 5 to be negative. Now what I want you to look at is this was a choice. Do you see that? That was a choice. They're trying to trick you. They are being very mean. Very, very mean. And you have to be smarter than the math problem and know that it was not factored completely yet. So you wouldn't get credit for that. So go slow. And remember, you probably need to factor more. All right, if we take a here, a squared minus 4. Look at that. Right there is the answer. Is that right? No way, because it's not done. It's going to be a minus 2 plus 2. Right there. You got to go slow. Be careful. Divide using synthetic division. We're going to set it up. Remember your placeholders. There are none this time. That's nice. And we're using a 5 because you use the opposite. Remember, you solve it. You use the solution. Here's 5. Here's 1. Here's 5. Here's 2. So you can see your answer for sure is right there because it's 1, 1 with a 2. Over here on 17, they gave you a hint. They gave you the formula. So all we have to do is choose the correct one, and it's clearly a 4. So this should be nice and simple. See how that's a plus and that's a plus? That means that one's wrong. See how this formula has 3 terms? So that one's wrong. See how this formula has a minus sign? So that one's wrong. There, we didn't even do any work. Okay, this time they want us to use synthetic division to evaluate. Synthetic division's this thing with placeholders. So a 2, a 0, a negative 8, a negative 7, a negative 9. Use the 4 as it is. Don't do the opposite because the 4 is the solution. It is the x. Okay, looks like it's going to get big fast, doesn't it? 4 and 2 is 8 and 8. and 8 and 4 is 32, and 32 minus 8 is 24, and 24 times 4 is 96, and 96 minus 7 is 89, and 89 times 4 is 356. 356 minus 9 is 347. Got it. That's another one that I think on the test is not multiple choice, so make sure you know how to do that. Okay, over here it was still those instructions that say factor completely. If you look at it, it has 4 terms. So what you're going to do is group and group. So take an x squared out of the first group and get x plus 4. So at this point, you can be smarter than the problem and know you're going to get x plus 4. You're going to get x plus 4. So that one's wrong and that one's wrong. And then you can take a negative 7 out of this group and get x plus 4, and hopefully you can see the answer now. Okay, so it's going to be x squared minus 7 with the x plus 4. So x squared minus 7. It looks like they're just trying to confuse you on that answer. That's for sure wrong. So it must be D. Okay, on 19, you can probably pick the correct answer because we've done this so many times. But this one's a trick. Don't go with it. Everything else appears to be the same. This is a plus and a minus. This is minus minus. This is plus plus. And hopefully you know it should be a plus and a minus. Over here, again, trying to trick you. Very mean of them. Definitely not those answers. And because these are both pluses, we need addition. Yay! Okay, it was a long video, but I hope you are studying and going to do really well on the test.